France, a music festival. During concerts organised throughout the country, there were not only fights and riots, to which the French seem to have become accustomed, but also a completely new form of terrorism. 145 people, mainly young women under the age of 18, were stabbed with needles. It is not yet known whether the victims were injected with any substances. Toxicological tests will clarify this. What I have read and learned about this phenomenon, which is truly cruel, is that these women experience headaches, nausea, dizziness, and feel unwell. Living in constant danger is everyday life in Western European countries, which have been accepting culturally foreign immigrants for years. The problem is that they are also increasingly being brought to Poland. These are photographs taken tonight at the border crossing in Gubin, documenting the transfer of illegal migrants from Germany to Poland. Now the people have got off the German bus and got onto the border guard bus. The German bus is returning to Germany, and our border guard is heading towards Poland. This is not an isolated case. According to the Border Defence Movement, a grassroots organisation that monitors the situation on the western border, Germany may have transferred as many as several thousand unwanted illegal immigrants to Poland in this way in recent months. Today, Polish services are acting more like taxis for migrants illegally transported to Poland than guardians of Polish borders. Donald Tusk's government simply does not care about Polish borders today, but is implementing the German migration agenda, which is detrimental to Polish interests. Hence actions such as the one in Piotrków Trybunalski. The city's residents are signing petitions en masse against mass immigration. They are also demanding a referendum on the dismissal of the city authorities, who are deaf to their demands. If we are unable to change Donald Tusk today, we must throw all his associates, including those at lower levels, into the dustbin of political history. And believe me, if we can do it in Piotrków, we will do it in every other town in Poland. Residents of other cities are also demanding a halt to illegal migration and the closure of foreigners' integration centres that are being set up throughout Poland. In the last week alone, petitions on this matter have been submitted to city halls in Słupsk and Szczecin, among others.
Excuse me, do you speak English? Do you speak English? What are you doing here?
Somali.
We are from Somalia.
Residents of Torun, where 2 weeks ago an illegal immigrant from Venezuela attacked a young woman, are also protesting. The 24-year-old is fighting for her life in hospital. However, the December 13th coalition government downplayed the problem. The Ministry of Internal Affairs and Administration is monitoring the situation on a continuing basis, but it looks dangerous. The Ministry of Internal Affairs and Administration is thoroughly investigating the situation, but there is certainly nothing alarming here. Really? Then where do the previously unknown problems with aimlessly wandering immigrants come from? And why are they increasingly being housed in children's homes, such as in Skieniewicza, Police, Penchery near Warsaw, or here in Izdebno, in Garwolin County, in an emergency care facility, together with small children? We have a centre called Zielony Izdebno, and some time ago, a few weeks ago, the border guard brought 2 young men to this centre claiming that they were minors, of course without any documents. But certainly an intervention centre, a care facility, is not a place for them. Meanwhile, the number of potential asylum seekers is steadily growing. In 2023, Poland accepted 9,475 applications for international protection. In 2024, there were 16,895 applications. In the last 3 months alone, Poland has received almost 4,000 asylum applications. As at the end of May, nearly 13,000 immigrants were waiting for their asylum applications to be processed. It is the current government, each of the parties in this government, is responsible for this state of affairs. Either they are total idiots and do not know what their government is doing, which disqualifies them as politicians and makes them completely irresponsible people who deserve only to be thrown out of politics, or they are people who consciously agree to it, and then the conclusion is the same, that is, they deserve only to be thrown out of politics. Michał Rachon's guest, Małgorzata Wasserman from Law and Justice, pointed out that before our eyes a process is beginning in Poland to create a mix of nations and cultures known from Europe at the expense of the Polish nation. What is happening is very obvious. Donald Tusk agreed to this. The migration pact is in force, right? In connection with the above, because it cannot be done yet, I would say officially it is simply happening in small groups. And everyone, we all travel around Europe and the world, knows that once this problem arises in a given country, it is practically impossible to eliminate.
powstały.
We must all expect a real wave of illegal immigration, mainly from Africa and the Middle East, from June next year. That is when the Migration Pact will officially come into force, and every year hundreds of thousands of foreigners relocated by the European Union will start looking for a place to live in Poland.